Jimmy Butler has been suspended by the Miami Heat, and I'm sure Erik Spoelstra isn't too happy with his actions. But the question remains, who's the better basketball player? Today we're gonna find out, because the first person to win 3 championships and 3 MVPs will be crowned the better player. But things would not start out easy for Jimmy Butler. He's the 11th man on the roster. And because he's a shooting guard small forward, he's competing with Devin Booker and Bradley Beal for a starting spot. But things didn't start out easy for the Heat either. They start the season 0-2. But luckily for Erik Spoelstra, he has a couple tricks up his sleeve. He's gonna suit up for the Heat and instantly be given the starting point guard spot. It looks like Jimmy Butler's got some catching up to do. Sharing the spotlight with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal made it hard for Jimmy Butler to get playing time. He only played 26 games on the season and was out of the lineup once the Suns traded for Draymond Green. But in the minutes he got, he averaged 5 points, half a rebound, and half an assist per game, helping the Suns to clinch the 7th seed. However, in Miami, Erik Spoelstra's situation was completely different. Due to the lack of point guards on the Heat's roster, Erik Spoelstra got 24 minutes per game and managed to average 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. Halfway through the season, he got moved to a bench role, but despite his efforts, the Miami Heat were the 10th seed and they failed to make the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Suns made it out of the play-in to go up against the 2-seed Timberwolves in the first round. And the Suns' playoff series was short-lived. They lose to the Timberwolves in 6. After facing setbacks in their rookie seasons, Jimmy Butler and Erik Spoelstra worked hard in the offseason. And Jimmy Butler's tied with Bradley Beal for the 3rd best player on the roster. He's an 83 overall. And Erik Spoelstra is also the 3rd best player on the roster. He's up to an 84. Although Jimmy Butler and Erik Spoelstra had finally become the 3rd option on their respective teams, they knew this was only the beginning. Because if they wanted to win championships and MVPs, they had to first prove themselves. Jimmy Butler received the minutes he deserved, and he averaged 18 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, winning the 6th Man of the Year award. And out in Miami, Erik Spoelstra took advantage of his full-time starting spot, averaging 19.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 6 assists per game to win the Most Improved Player award. But unfortunately, not much changed from last year. The Suns were the 7th seed again, and the Heat were also in the play-in again, but they improved to the 8th seed. And this time, it would be the Suns getting eliminated and the Heat making the playoffs, all for them to get swept in the first round. But Jimmy Butler's up to an 88 overall with Kevin Durant declining, and Erik Spoelstra is also up to an 88. He's tied for the best player on the roster. This resulted in Erik Spoelstra getting even better, averaging 21.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 6.5 assists per game, all for the Heat to finish as the 11th seed with 37 wins. As for Jimmy Butler, he's up to 20.5 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals a game, and along with Kevin Durant averaging 21 and Devin Booker averaging 25, the Big Three helped lead the Suns to the 5 seed. And in year 3, Jimmy Butler would finally win his first playoff series, and he led the team dropping 23 points and 5 steals. But onto the second round, they would have to go up against the Mavericks led by Luka Doncic, and that didn't go so well for them. They're gonna get swept. And with Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Draymond Green all retiring, the Suns look a lot worse. Jimmy Butler's up to a 93 overall though, and him and Devin Booker are one of the best duos in the league. And the Heat are the exact opposite. Erik Spoelstra's up to a 93, and the team is getting a lot better. And in his 4th season, Erik Spoelstra has a breakout year, averaging 28 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 9 assists per game, winning Clutch Player of the Year. He made All-NBA second team, and Jimmy Butler made All-NBA first team. He averaged 32 points, 6 rebounds, and 5.5 assists per game. Jimmy Butler and Devin Booker led the Suns to 55 wins to the 4th seed, and out east, the Heat have to make it out of the play-in. And they're gonna make it out to clinch the 7th seed, but that doesn't matter at all. They get swept. Meanwhile, the Suns gentlemen sweep their way out of the first round. They have to play the 1 seed in back-to-back seasons. And this time, it's an Oklahoma City Thunder team led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren. And the Suns are gonna make it out in 6. Now they have a rematch against the 3 seed Dallas Mavericks. And they're gonna force a game 7 after being down 3-0. And unfortunately, that would all be for nothing. The Suns lose in the Western Conference Finals in 7 games. Jimmy Butler and Devin Booker carried. Nobody else had more than 10. And just like that, they're eliminated. Jimmy Butler's finally the best player on the roster. And the Heat look a lot better. Newell's up to an 85 overall now. And they traded for Onyeka Okongwu last season. And in season number 5, Jimmy Butler's All-NBA first team again. He averaged 31.5 points, 7 rebounds, and 5.5 assists per game. And Erik Spoelstra is not too far behind on the second team. He averaged 25 points, 4 rebounds, and 8 assists. His numbers went down a little bit, but the Heat did get better. Erik Spoelstra leads the Heat to the 5 seed, and out west, the Suns are the 3 seed. The Suns are going to sweep the Warriors in the first round, and the Heat are going to gentlemen sweep the Wizards. But in the second round, both of them are down 3-0. They both force a game 5, and both of them are going to lose in 5 games. How did an 8th seed make the conference finals? Jimmy Butler's up to a 97 overall, and he already has 2 All-NBA first teams under his belt. Hopefully he can get an MVP soon. Erik Spoelstra is also a 97 overall, and he has 2 All-NBA All-NBA second team, so hopefully he can move up to first team. Jimmy Butler's All-NBA first team again. He averaged 28 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. And Erik Spoelstra didn't make an All-NBA team, but he won Clutch Player of the Year, averaging 25 points, 4 rebounds, and 7.5 assists per game. The Suns dropped from the 3 seed last season to the 4 seed this season, and the Heat go from the 5 seed all the way up to the 2 seed. And the Heat crumble in the first round, getting gentlemen swept by a 7 seed. They really lost to a play-in team. And the Suns are going to gentlemen sweep the Timberwolves to make it on to the second round. They're going to beat the 1 seed Thunder for the second season in a row, and the Mavericks got swept, so now they have to go up against a 2-seeded Spurs team. And the Suns are going to gentlemen sweep the Spurs. They make their way to the finals. Jimmy Butler wins Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging 33, 8, and 5, and they have to go up against Paolo and the Magic. And in game 1, the Suns are making a fourth quarter comeback. We have a tie game with 2 minutes to go, and the Magic have Franz Wagner at the free throw line. He knocks down the first one, and to give the Magic a 2-point lead, his second free throw is good. Devin Booker coming off the screens and to shoot the 3 from the wing. He gets fouled. He misses it, but he's gonna get 3 free throws. The first one's good. To tie the game up, his second one's good. And to give the Suns the lead, his third one is gonna miss. Paolo's gonna set the screen for Franz. Franz is going to try to make his way into the paint. Jimmy plays help defense. Suggs gets left wide open and he makes the 3. Devin Booker's going to run the ISO on Jalen Suggs. He's trying to spin his way into the paint. He hits Brandon Clark and he gets blocked. Powell with the ball is going to swing it to Paolo. He's going to hit Franz at the top of the key. And Franz is going to miss the 3. Now the Suns are on the fast break. They almost get a turnover, but Ryan Dunn gets the layup to cut the Magic lead down to 1. Jimmy Butler's going to get his ankles broken. He recovers on defense and he gets the rebound. And now he's on the fast break. He's going to hit Keegan Murray for the mid-range. He misses it. Brandon Clark almost gets the putback, but he can't come down with the ball. And now the Magic are on the fast break. Paolo can't seem to get into the paint. He's going to try to go around Brandon Clark. He gets fouled, and he makes the and 1. And now he has a free throw attempt, and he's going to put the Magic up 4. They're going to inbound the ball to Jimmy in the corner, and Jimmy's going to miss the corner 3. Now the Magic are back at the free throw line. They make the first one, and to put them up 6, their second free throw is going to roll off the rim, and Brandon Clark grabs the board. Brandon Clark on the fast break's going to hit Jimmy Butler on the wing, and he knocks down the 3 this time. And now the Magic have Jalen Suggs at the free throw line. His first one's good, and to make it a 4-point game, his second free throw's good. The Suns should go to Devin Booker or Jimmy Butler here. Devin Booker sizing up Jalen Suggs. He's going to pull the limitless 3. He has enough space, and he knocks it down. Franz Wagner's going to be the one set to the line. He misses the first free throw, and to put the Magic up 2, his second free throw's good. The Suns have 16 seconds here to make something happen. It looks like Devin Booker's going to wait for the screen. He's chewing down the clock. He's going to pull the 3 over Jalen Suggs. He misses it, and the Magic are going to grab the board. J-Huff needs to miss free throws here. He knocks the first one down, and to put the Magic up 4 and seal the game, his second free throw's good. The Suns are going to lose game 1. Devin Booker had 45, and Jimmy had 27 points and 17 boards, but they just have no help. And of course, the Suns are down 3-1. But in game 5, they blow out the Magic. Julius Randle actually shows up, and in game 6, Julius Randle helps them to force a game 7. And Jimmy Butler is 1 win away from potentially winning his first championship. And in a game 7, the Magic are going to blow a 3-1 lead, and Jimmy Butler's going to win his first NBA championship. And Jimmy Butler's going to walk away with the Finals MVP. He averaged 22, 9, and 6 in the series, and he's up 1-0 on Erik Spoelstra. But Erik Spoelstra might have the upper hand because while his team is getting better, Jimmy Butler's team is getting worse. Jimmy Butler was second in MVP. He averaged 32 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists, while Erik Spoelstra barely makes the All-NBA third team with averages of 24.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 7.5 assists. And that would show as the Heat finished with the best record in the East, tied with the Magic and the Bulls. Meanwhile, the Suns are the 4th seed and 17 games behind the 1st seed. Both teams would easily make it out of the first round. The Suns make the conference finals, but the Heat are in a game 7. And the Heat are gonna get blown out by the Magic. We really could have had a Suns vs Heat finals. The Suns gentlemen sweep their way to the finals as the 4 seed. Jimmy Butler wins Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging 40 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. So they're going up against a Magic team. This team looks insane. But the Suns are somehow gonna sweep the Magic, and Jimmy Butler wins his second NBA championship. And he's also gonna win the Finals MVP. He averaged 38 points and 7 rebounds with 3.5 steals and a block and a half in the series. Going into season number 8, Jimmy Butler has 2 championships and Erik Spoelstra has 0. The Heat have a way better roster than the Suns, but they just choked in the playoffs last season. Jimmy Butler was 3rd in MVP this season. He averaged 31 points, 9 rebounds, and 5.5 assists per game, and he won Defensive Player of the Year. But Erik Spoelstra knew that he needed to lock in if he wanted to win this challenge. And Erik Spoelstra led the Heat to the 1 seed. They're the best team in the East by far. He averaged 24 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 7 assists this season. The Suns get gentlemen swept in the first round, and the Heat make it out in 6. The Heat gentlemen sweep the Wizards in the second round, and the Heat are just choke artists. They lose to the 7th seed in the conference finals. And in season number 9, Jimmy Butler finally wins his first MVP. Erik Spoelstra was on the All-NBA third team, and he has his second best season, averaging 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 7.5 assists per game. The Suns are the 1 seed, and the Heat go from the 1 seed all the way down to the 6 seed. Both teams made it to the second round, and the Suns are going to get gentlemen swept by the 4 seed, while the Heat make the conference finals as a 6 seed. And the Heat are going to make the finals. The Bulls were up 2-0, and the Heat just won 4 games in a row, and they're going up against the Kings. And after going down 3-2 in a game 5, Erik Spoelstra dropped 46 in game 6 to blow out the Kings. And now we have a game 7. And with 2 minutes to go, the Heat are up 2. All they have to do is hold the lead, and Erik Spoelstra can win his first championship. He's going to drive past Bub Carrington. He pulls the mid-range, and it rolls in and out. So now the Kings are on the fast break. They're going to swing it to the corner. The wide open 3, and they take the lead. Terrible start for the Heat. Trey Mann's going to use the screen from Newell. He's going to make his way into the paint, and he gets fouled. So now he's at the free throw line. His first free throw's good. And to give the Heat the lead, his second free throw's good. Hendricks with the ball in the post is going to swing it to Joseph. The wide open 3, and he's going to miss the 3. And they just get a steal out of nowhere. They miss the layup. They go back up. They miss again. And the Heat get the ball back. And it looks like the Heat are going to take their time. Jaime coming off the screen. And he knocks down the 3 to put the Heat up 4. I thought they were going to chew out the clock, but I guess not. Fouling with the ball's going to get clamped up by Erik Spoelstra, but Spoelstra ends up fouling. So now he has the chance to make it a 2-point game. His first free throw's good. And to cut the Heat's lead down to 2, his second free throw's good. So now we have Trey Mann at the line. His first free throw's good. And his second free throw's up. And he knocks it down to put the Heat up 4. The Kings don't have any timeouts. They're going to need to get a quick shot off here. Bub Carrington gives it to Wood. He's not pulling the 3 for some reason. Back to Bub Carrington. He forces up the 3 over Trey Mann, and he knocks it down. Now Erik Spoelstra is going to be the one going to the line. His first one's good. And to put the Heat up 3, his second free throw's good. The Kings have 4 seconds. They're going to have to pull a half-court shot, it looks like. Phylon, the 3 over Spoelstra. It bounces in and out, and the Heat are going to win in game 7 of the finals. And Erik Spoelstra is going to win his first championship. He put up 33, 8, and 7 with 3 steals in a game 7 to lead the Heat to the win. And he's going to win the finals MVP, averaging 25 points, 5.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, and 2 steals per game in the series. Entering season 10, Jimmy Butler has 2 championships and an MVP, while Erik Spoelstra has 1 championship and 0 MVPs. And Erik Spoelstra wins his first MVP. He averaged 33 points, 6 rebounds, and 8.5 assists. And Jimmy Butler finished 3rd in the MVP race. He averaged 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 4.5 assists per game. Erik Spoelstra leads the Heat to 50 wins. They're the 2 seed. Meanwhile, the Suns fell off a cliff. They're the 8th seed. And the Suns make it out of the play-in to go against the 2 seed Timberwolves. And that was all for nothing. They get swept. And in the East, the Heat are going to sweep their way out of the first round. They're going up against a 3-seeded Cavs team, and I'm not going to lie, the Cavs look like the better team. But the Heat are going to somehow gentlemen sweep them, and now they have to go up against the 1-seeded Knicks, and the Heat look like the better team here. But the Knicks are going to sweep the Heat to make the finals, and Erik Spoelstra loses out on his chance to tie Jimmy Butler. So at this point, they both have 1 MVP, but Jimmy has 2 championships, and Erik Spoelstra only has 1. Erik Spoelstra was 3rd in MVP. He averaged 34 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. How didn't he win? And Jimmy Butler averaged 28 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. The Suns are the 7th seed, and they're going to be playing the 2 seed for the 2nd year in a row. They're going to get gentlemen swept, and after being down 3-2, the Heat force a game 7, and they're going to lose in the first round. Erik Spoelstra only put up 20. He shot 8 for 22. And Devin Booker's retiring. This is not good for Jimmy Butler. And the Suns don't replace Devin Booker. Ryan Dunn's their 2nd best player at an 82 overall. The most Jimmy Butler's average is 32.2 points per game. He might average 40 this season. And he was 3rd in MVP. He averaged 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists a game. And Erik Spoelstra was 5th in MVP. He averaged 31.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. The Suns are a play-in team again, and the Heat are the 3rd seed. And both of them make it out of the first round. I don't know how the Suns beat the 1 seed. Jimmy Butler averaged 45 points per game in the series. That's how. He put up 63 points in a game 1. He hit 15 threes. Game 2, he dropped 44 and 11 threes. Game 3, he had 34 and 7 threes. Game 4, he had 48. He hit 6 threes. And in Game 5, he had 36 points and 7 threes. He really wants to win his 3rd championship. And now the Suns are going to beat the 5th seed Pelicans. They're on to the conference finals, and they're playing the 7th seed, so they actually have a chance to win. Meanwhile, the Heat are in a game 7 against the 2 seed. And the Heat are going to pull away in the 4th quarter. Erik Spoelstra dropped 43 points and 10 assists to advance the Heat to the conference finals. The Suns beat the 7th-seeded Mavericks to make the finals, and the Heat are in another game 7. And they're going to blow out the Raptors. That first quarter score is insane. And it wasn't even Erik Spoelstra. Newell dropped 34 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks. And now we have the matchup we've all been waiting for, Erik Spoelstra versus Jimmy Butler. The Heat are going to run away with game 1 in the second half. Erik Spoelstra dropped 39, and Jimmy Butler had 41, but it wasn't enough. And in game 2, the Heat are gonna blow out the Suns again. Erik Spoelstra had 42 points, 9 rebounds, and 16 assists. Jimmy Butler had a triple-double, but he shot 9 for 33 and 3 for 19 from 3. Back on the Suns' home court, they're finally gonna win a game. Erik Spoelstra dropped 30, but he shot 11 for 30. And Gigi Jackson and Jimmy Butler combined for 60. And in a game 4, the Suns are gonna run away with it late in the 4th quarter. Erik Spoelstra had 35, 8, and 12, but he had no help. And Jimmy Butler dropped 32 points and 12 rebounds. So after 4 games, the series is tied up at 2. But in a game 5, the Heat are gonna have a really good first half, which carries them through the game. Jimmy Butler had 34, 11, and 7, but Erik Spoelstra dropped 42. And now he's 1 win away from winning his 2nd championship. But in game 6, back on the Suns' home court, they're gonna force a game 7. Jimmy Butler dropped 53 points and 12 rebounds. And Erik Spoelstra had 20 points. He shot 7 for 25 and 3 for 16 from 3. And just like that, we have a game 7. And in game 7, the Heat are down 3 with 2 minutes to go, but the Suns have Mark Williams at the line. He knocks down the first free throw, and to put the Suns up 5, his 2nd free throw is good. Erik Spoelstra desperately needs to do something here. If he wants the Heat to have a chance at winning, he's gonna drive into the paint, and he bodies Mark Williams for the layup. He has 47 points. Jimmy Butler with the ball. He's gonna find his way into the paint, and he makes the layup. It looks like Erik Spoelstra is gonna run another ISO. He's gonna make his way to the paint. He pulls the mid-range, and he misses it. Jimmy Butler with the ball is gonna drive into the paint, and he gets fouled. And now he has a chance to put the Suns up by 7. They're up by 6 after the first free throw, and his 2nd free throw's up, and it's good. Minute and a half to go. The Heat are down by 7. Erik Spoelstra's gonna make his way into the paint, and he knocks down the layup. This game has just been back and forth. The Heat need to play good defense if they want a chance at winning. Erik Spoelstra gets caught on the screen. Gibson with the ball's gonna drive into the paint, and he gets blocked, and the Heat get the board. Jaime Jaquez on the fast break, throws it down low to Newell, and the Heat cut the Suns lead down to 3. Jimmy Butler with the ball's gonna drive into the paint, and he misses the layup. Erik Spoelstra's gonna drive into the paint. He's gonna force the layup, and he knocks it down. The Heat are only down 1 now. Jimmy Butler with the ball is going to take the hook shot over Reeves, and he misses it. The Heat have 23 seconds to make the last shot. Erik Spoelstra with the ball drives into the paint, takes the dunk, and it looks like the Heat aren't going to get the last shot here. Jimmy Butler with the ball is going to drive on Reeves. He gets into the paint easily, and he puts the Suns up by 1. Erik Spoelstra with the ball, and he's going to throw the lob. Newell comes out of nowhere. Now Jimmy Butler has 3 seconds left. He has to pull from the logo. He misses it, and the Heat are going to win game 7 of the finals. And Erik Spoelstra is going to win his 2nd championship. Erik Spoelstra had 53 in a game 7, and he's gonna win the finals MVP, averaging 37 points per game in the series. And now him and Jimmy Butler both have 2 championships and an MVP, so whoever wins 1 more championship and 2 more MVPs first will be crowned the better player. And this guy Paris Buckner just won his 3rd MVP in a row. Jimmy Butler was 2nd in MVP, and Erik Spoelstra was 5th. He's the only thing standing in their way. Jimmy Butler just averaged 37.5 points. If it wasn't for this guy averaging 14 rebounds per game, Jimmy Butler would have won the MVP. And Erik Spoelstra, on the other hand, averaged 31.5 points. The Suns are a play-in team. They're the 7th seed. And out east are the Heat a play-in team too. Yeah, they're the 8th seed. Both of them make the playoffs. And both of them are going to get swept in the first round. And Jimmy Butler wins his 2nd MVP, averaging 35 points and 8 rebounds per game. And now he's 1 championship and 1 MVP from winning the challenge. Erik Spoelstra was 3rd in MVP. He averaged 29.5 points per game and 8 assists per game. That's why Jimmy Butler won MVP. The Suns are somehow the 1 seed. And that's because they added 287 overalls to their roster. Bryce Sensabaugh only averaged 11. Derek Queen averaged 12 points and 11 rebounds per game, but it was this 85 overall that made the difference. He averaged 24.5 points per game. And for the Heat, they're the 4 seed. They added Gigi Jackson in the offseason. He averaged 15 points for them. And both the Heat and the Suns are in a game 7. And the Heat are gonna choke. They have a terrible 2nd quarter, and they end up losing the game by 20. Erik Spoelstra and Newell combined for 72 points, but they had no help. The Nuggets were the 9th seed. If the Suns lose, and the Suns are gonna choke in the 4th quarter, they were up with 4 minutes to go, but they lose the game by 6. Jimmy Butler had 40 and 10 for nothing. This guy's back to winning MVPs. Jimmy Butler was 3rd in MVP. He averaged 31.5 points and 8.5 rebounds per game. And Erik Spoelstra is on the All-NBA 2nd team. Oh my gosh, his points dropped all the way down to 25. The Suns dropped from the 1 seed to the 2 seed, and it looks like the Heat are in the play-in again. They're the 7th seed. They make it out of the play-in to play the Celtics in the first round. They're gonna get swept. That was quick. And the Suns beat the Jazz in 6 games to make it out of the first round. And now they have to go up against the Nuggets with Cooper Flag. And they were just down 3-0. They force a game 7, and the Nuggets are gonna blow a 3-0 lead. Jimmy Butler dropped 32 to lead the team to the conference finals. And now they have to go up against a 5-seeded Timberwolves team. They still have Anthony Edwards, and they have Derek Queen, who was on the Suns last season. And the Suns are gonna gentleman sweep the Timberwolves to make the finals. And they're going up against the Celtics, who beat the Heat in the first round. Game 1, the Suns win by 3. Game 2, the Celtics win by 12. Game 3, the Celtics win by 9. Game 4, the Suns win by 2. Game 5, the Celtics are gonna win by by 1. And in game 6, the Suns are going to hold on to force a game 7. Jimmy Butler shot terrible. He had 22 points, but he shot 9 for 22. And to win his third championship, he needs to have a good game 7. This one is back and forth, and the Suns are going to get blown out. They don't win a single quarter. Jimmy Butler, what are we doing? 12 for 26? He really just sold the chance to get his third championship. And Erik Spoelstra wins his second MVP, averaging 29 points and 7.5 assists per game. Jimmy Butler didn't even make All-NBA first team. He's All-NBA second team, though. And he dropped all the way down to 25.5 points per game. The Suns fell off a cliff. They didn't even make the play-in. They're the 12th seed. And the Heat are the 2 seed in the East and the second best team in the league. But somehow they're in a game 7 in the first round. And they're gonna lose to a play-in team after being the second best team in the league. Erik Spoelstra only put up 18 points. In the past 2 seasons, Jimmy Butler and Erik Spoelstra both had chances to win championships, and they both failed miserably. So entering season number 17, they're both tied at 2 championships and 2 MVPs. This guy just won his 5th MVP. He's only 28 years old. And Jimmy Butler's second in MVP again. He averaged 26 points per game. And Erik Spoelstra's on the All-NBA second team. He averaged 27 points per game. The Suns are the 10th seed, and the Heat fall off a cliff. They go from the 1st seed all the way to the 9th seed. The Suns don't even make it out of the play-in, and neither do the Heat. This guy is unstoppable. Erik Spoelstra's on the All-NBA third team. He averaged 25 points per game. And Jimmy Butler didn't even make an All-NBA team. He averaged 22.5 points per game. The Suns are the 6th seed, and out east, the Heat are the 5th seed. The Suns are going to get swept, and the Heat are going to lose in 6. And Erik Spoelstra wins his third MVP, averaging 30 points and 8 assists per game. Jimmy Butler's on the All-NBA third team. He averaged 24.5 points per game. And with Erik Spoelstra being 1 championship away from winning the challenge, the Suns and the Heat are both the 1 seed in their conference. And now we get a rematch of the finals from season 12, where Erik Spoelstra and the Heat beat Jimmy Butler and the Suns in 7 games. Through 4 games, the series is tied up at 2. The Heat are going to win game 5 and take a 3-2 lead. And in game 6, the Suns are going to absolutely blow out the Heat. The Suns only put up 8 in the 4th quarter, but they still win. Jimmy Butler shot 5 for 20 and the Suns still won. And now we have another game 7. And with 2 minutes to go, we have a tie game. Westbrook with the ball is going to use the screen. Erik Spoelstra plays great defense on the screen. They're going to go down low to Jimmy Butler. He takes the fade and he misses it. Erik Spoelstra on the fast break pulls a limitless 3 for no reason and he knocks it down. He just pulled it from the logo. Jimmy Butler with the ball now. He's going to drive into the paint. He's going to take the dunk, and he cuts the Heat lead down to 1. Erik Spoelstra with the ball again. He's going to drive into the paint. He gets an open lane, and he makes the layup to put the Heat back up 3. And he has 52 points. Jimmy Butler with the ball is going to force up the shot. He gets fouled, and he knocks down the and 1. I don't know how that went in, but he's at the free throw line, and he knocks the free throw down. 1 minute to go. Erik Spoelstra with the chance to put the Heat back up is in a drive. He pulls the mid-range, and he misses it. He should have just taken the layup. And the Suns have the chance to take the lead here. Jimmy Butler the pass to Westbrook, and the Suns are up. Erik Spoelstra with 40 seconds to go is going to drive into the paint. He takes the layup, and he makes the and 1. Him and Jimmy Butler are going crazy, and he's going to knock down the free throw to put the Heat back up. Jimmy Butler's going to swing the ball to the corner. Murray's going to pull the mid-range, and he misses it. Now we got Newell on the fast break. He passes to Erik Spoelstra, the layup, and he puts the Heat up 3. Jimmy Butler with the ball trying to make his way into the paint. He's going to take the step back mid-range, and it bounces in. And now we have Erik Spoelstra at the free throw line. His first one's good, and to put the Heat up 3, his second free throw's up, and he knocks it down. The Suns have no timeouts here. They have 18 seconds to make something happen. Jimmy Butler's trying to make his way into the paint again. Newell picks up. He's going to pass it out to the wing, the wide open 3, and he misses the 3. The Suns get their own rebound. Another 3, Westbrook from limitless range, and he knocks it down to tie the game up. And now the Heat have 4 seconds here to make something happen. They're going to go to VJ Edgecombe. He's going to have to pull the mid-range over Jimmy Butler, and we're going into overtime. And with 2 minutes to go, the Heat are down 1 with the chance to take the lead. Newell with the ball's going to drive into the paint on their center. He gets fouled, and he makes the and 1. Everyone's just making and 1s this game, and Newell's free throw's going to miss. Jimmy Butler on the fast break swings it to Westbrook to Ryan down low in the paint, and he misses the layup. And now we have Newell in the Heat on the fast break. He's going to drive into the paint, and he dunks it down to give the Heat a 3-point lead. Minute 30 to go for Jimmy Butler and the Suns. He's going to use the screen. He throws it down low to Holmes, and the Suns cut the lead down to 1. Now we have Erik Spoelstra. He's going to get the easiest drive into the paint, and he gets fouled. I think that's the first shooting foul this game that wasn't an and 1. Erik Spoelstra's going to knock down his first free throw, and his second one's good as well. Ryan with the ball has 7 seconds left. He's going to try to make his way into the paint. He does, and he gets fouled. So now he gets a chance to go to the free throw line. He knocks down the first free throw, and his second free throw's up, and we're back to a 1-point game. Less than a minute to go in game 7. Erik Spoelstra's going to drive again. He takes the layup, and he makes it to put the Heat up 3. They're going to put the ball in Jimmy Butler's hands. He's gonna use the screen. He's gonna drive past VJ Edgecombe for the layup. And this game is so back and forth. It's a 1-point game again. Erik Spoelstra with the ball drives into the paint. He takes the tough shot and he knocks it down to put the Heat back up 3. 30 seconds to go for the Suns. They just used their last time out for some reason. Jimmy Butler with the ball trying to get into the paint. He's gonna take the layup. And now the Suns are gonna have to foul. And now the Heat have VJ Edgecombe at the free throw line. He knocks down the first one. And to put the Heat back up 3, his second free throw's good. The Suns have 24 seconds here. No timeouts. Jimmy Butler's gonna drive on VJ Edgecombe. He takes the Euro. He takes the layup. And he misses it. So now we have Erik Spoelstra at the line with a chance to ice the game. His first one's good. And to put the Heat up 5, his second free throw's good. 10 seconds to go for the Suns. Westbrook with the ball. Swings it to Murray. Murray's gonna take the step back mid-range. And he knocks it down and they have to foul again. And Erik Spoelstra is gonna be the one going back to the line. His first free throw's good. And to put the Heat back up 5, his second free throw's good. And the Suns only have 4 seconds here. So even if they hit a 3, they're gonna run out of time. And the Heat are gonna win the finals in game 7. And Erik Spoelstra is gonna win his 3rd championship and win the challenge against Jimmy Butler. And he put up 69 points in a game 7 to win the challenge. And even though Jimmy Butler lost the challenge, he had a really good career. But if you guys want to see him go to the Warriors instead of the Suns, click the video on the screen right now.